Welcome back to another video. It's your favorite Monday video that I know that each one of y'all look forward to every Monday. And just can't wait till I put it out. It's our way too long, takes up too much time, weekly updates on some of our favorite passive income projects. And we got some news this week. So if you saw last week, I took some projects out that I really didn't feel like talking about anymore. Nobody complained. I don't know if they realized they were even missing. One I might discuss just a tad, just because there is some news that came out. So I might discuss it for a minute, but I'm not even putting them back on my spreadsheet. But let's get to it because we got a lot to talk about. But before we talk about the good news, we got to touch on the bad news. And unless you're living underneath the rock, if you haven't checked your portfolios yet, you might not want to. Skip it. Go get a drink first, because it's been a bloody day on the crypto markets. And Mondays are very busy at work, so I know I'm doing y'all a disservice. I can't tell you exactly what's going on. I'm hearing some things about on GOX and different things like that going on. People dumping Bitcoin, and it's just, you know, the usual chain reaction, and longs getting liquidated, and the usual issue. Me, y'all know me, I look at it as it's a buying opportunity. You buy when there's blood in the streets, and trust me, right now there is some blood in the streets. People are about losing their mind, and as you can see, we were the last couple of days hovering around 64,000, and kind of starting yesterday, we started seeing this downward, you know, track right here. And at about 4 o'clock this morning, it went from 62.7 to 60 and bounced back a little bit. And I'm probably sure this is probably when people thought it's time to long or something. I don't know. Maybe it was even here, and that's why it fell so hard. But it bounced all the way down to 58,400. And it's kind of making a comeback right now, if you want to call it a comeback. But we've had, this is the 15-minute chart, and we've had 5 green candles in a row. I guess that's the positive. When you look at Ethereum, you kind of had that same thing. This is the 1 hour chart with Ethereum. And, you know, it's going to follow basically the same thing that Bitcoin's doing. Cardano all looks the same. It's, you know, Cardano was up at yesterday 39 cents, down to about 36 cents. So it really didn't drop that much. It's already been dropping. So Adam has been one that has said, hold my beer. Y'all know I'm a big Adam fan. Tokenomics have kind of taken a dive a little bit, but it has come back strong. Another one that's come back strong, Solana. People want to knock Solana, but they're chugging back. You know, they were down to 121, came back up to 131. This is the 1 hour chart, 15-minute chart. So they have been coming back. You know, they didn't really fall too much. They fell down 130 to 125, but these still overall are going back up. You know, people can knock Solana. I see people on Twitter knocking Solana all they want, but Solana is making, forget what the exact number, like 1,000 meme coins a day are being created on it, and they're handling those transactions. Yes, there's some interruptions, but when you think of the amount of transactions they're doing, if that's not battle tested, I don't know what else will. But y'all know I like to look at these charts because it kind of gives us an idea of where we should be at when we look at, this is AVAX. Y'all know I like AVAX. I'm telling people DCA into it. I'm telling y'all, if I had the capital, which I don't because I'm spending so much on these Wingbits stations and stuff, if I had the capital right now, I would be, I'd be going into this. Poor Helium doesn't know what it wants to do. It's all over the place, but to think of where this was just, you know, a while back, $9-10, and we all thought it was coming back for its big comeback, and it has just went on this diagonal downward momentum, whatever you want to call it, pattern down to $3. It's a sad day. Crow is kind of doing the same thing, which, you know, I don't mind that because I have a Crow card. So the lower that this Crow coin goes, that's more profit. No, that's more, rewards I make for using that card. So that's kind of where the markets are for beginning of this week. Y'all know I'm not a big TA person, so I just kind of like to show y'all so we know what general direction crypto's going in. So when we look at some of these individual projects, and kind of the way I explain it every week is, if the Bitcoin market or the crypto market's going down, kind of like it is now, we see some of these prices holding in these passive income projects, that's a good thing. If we see it going up when these markets are going down, that's a good thing. If we would see the crypto market recover and it's going up, and we see these projects go down, not a good thing. So I like to kind of give that overall view every Monday before we get started on this. So what's the big news? Y'all know, if y'all have spent any minute on this channel at all, I am 1000% into the Wingbits project right now. I think this is going to be a very big project, and there are some major announcements that came out today. So I'm going to skip ahead and I'm going to Wingbits first because I want to discuss that first. One of the first things we need to discuss is this announcement that came out at 10:42 a.m. my time, where they will be having a supply change. We voted to go from 100 billion max supply down to 10 billion. What's that mean? That means that your wallets are about to get slashed. However, the value of the token should technically stay the same because it's a token supply chain, if that makes sense. So it's going to be 10% of what they were before. What does that exactly mean? Let's look at my account, for example. So we're going to take my account, for example, and we're going to do the last 30 days. Right now, they don't have the lifetime totals. That's another update that's coming, but they wanted to get this update done first. So we're going to take our trusted calculator, and we're going to say 281,847 times 0.1. 0.1 is 10%. That will then give us a total that tomorrow, when I wake up at some point when this is updated, I should see 28,184 tokens, 0.7. That's what that means. My tokens are valued at the same, which technically they're not on the exchange yet. So what are they really valued? But because there's less of a supply, your value should technically stay the same. Now, there will be some updates. From now on, though, when you get rewarded, if you're getting, say, if we try to look at some of my stations right here, that means that I am now, you look at some of these stations where I'm getting 2,352. I'm not getting that anymore. I'll be getting 235 as rewards for that. This station that's getting me 3,264, I would be getting 326.4. So you will see a reduction in that when all this does take effect. What else will you see? They also are starting what they call DevNet rewards distribution. Most of us know this as testnet, but for some reason Solana calls testnet something a little different. This is DevNet rewards distribution. This is why I've been telling y'all, make sure that your Solana wallet is updated in your dashboard for Wingbits. You should start seeing, Wednesday they're telling me, you should start seeing your wallets get the Wing token in it. Now, one thing I'm gonna ask, I don't know this answer yet, is it just gonna automatically show up in there? Or do you have to import the token? On some wallets, when I put a new Solana token in my Phantom wallet, if I'm trading for one of these goofy meme coins, the token just shows up. I don't have to import anything. So I'm assuming that that will happen also on the Solana wallets, that you're not going to need the contract address to look it up at first. I don't know if they have that yet, but I know that question's coming. So, but as you can see, these are two very big announcements that are in store for Wingbits, and I think it's a huge step, a very huge step for everything that's coming to Wingbits. So hopefully all of our hard work, sweating in the 100-degree temperatures, putting these stations up, me shipping stations all across the United States, hopefully that's paying off, and we'll see. But that's the big announcement from Wingbits. All right, so moving on for what this video is normally about, we're going to move on to our passive income sheets. All right, so first thing we always discuss is Helium. I know a lot of y'all came from Helium. A lot of my followers that are in the Facebook group that we run, y'all check that out if y'all want to get into a Facebook group about DPIN projects and new passive income projects coming out. We try to keep that updated with that, and the community does a good job also with that. So Helium IoT, it's just chugging along. You know, I got 17 stations online. I think one might be offline. I'm not sure. I just don't pay attention to it, to be honest with you. I'm getting a little over 6,000 a day average, 6,100 maybe, something around there. The price has actually stayed kind of steady. I have to give it to it. The last 7 days, you actually had a 2% increase. That's with that dip today. You know, it was at 7 when I was doing these numbers earlier. It was at 0.007. It's actually came down just a tad, but you still were at 2% of an increase over the last 7 days. Hey, I'll take the positives with Helium anytime I can get them, and I'll take that as a positive. You know, today it's been down 1%. Who cares? For the month, it's still down 20%. But as you're going to see in a lot of these projects, they're all about the same thing. So I can't knock Helium. It just seems like all these IoT, these DPIN, passive income projects, whatever you want to call it, they all have been kind of that same thing. I don't know if any of them going to have this 7-day 2% average. That's what I'm curious to see. But hey, it's holding strong. 0.0067 to 0.0069. Not a great increase, but hey, anytime you see green right now, that's a positive thing in these projects. Now you have Helium brother, Helium IoT's brother, if you want to call it. And he's down 0.001, down 11.5% in 7 days, where IoT stayed level, stayed the same. You know, down 4% just today with that dip from today. And overall for the month, it's down 47%. I say this every week. I know I'm a broken record, and I'll continue to say it. This is one that I am very, very surprised on. It's got a good working project behind it. The cell phone service, I think it's just that you're not hearing much about it. I know they had some different, what you call them, hips and different things like that, to change some rewards and stuff like that. But maybe they just need to build up some more press, if that's the word. But it's a working project. They picked up all these accounts from Mexico and stuff. You thought that would help it out. I don't know what's going on with Helium Mobile. If anybody knows, I'm not in the project. It's something I came very, very close to purchasing, one of the Wi-Fi devices, the outdoor Wi-Fi devices. And I had that little itch in the back of my head, you know, that little tingle that said, don't let Helium do it to you again. I wanted to buy one just so I could say I'm involved in it for my subscribers here, but something just said don't do it, and I'm glad I didn't. But Helium itself, I see green. I was very surprised to see this. When I saw that the price was $313 earlier, when I was looking at some of this stuff, it was actually up a little bit higher than that when I was updating these numbers at about 2 o'clock. So, you know, it was at 320, 330, somewhere around there. But I mean, you had green for majority this week until this last little crash we had an hour ago. You know, it was at 314, down a little bit. That was 7 days ago. Today it's down 6%. Down 26% for the month. I still say, you know, what I said earlier, the Helium, you know, it was back up to almost $10. And we thought this was all going to recover and we were going to see those all-time highs again. But people putting their Helium devices back online and things like that. And I'm quite surprised though that my amount of IoT is not going up with people saying screw this again and taking those devices offline, especially for the amount of people I see in Discord who are claiming that they're doing that. So, but you know, you also have these third-party companies that came along, third-party firmwares like BitHarvest, even Crank to a point. I think Crank also can do Helium. That are resurrecting some of these devices that have been offline because people didn't know how to do firmwares or didn't want to use the Nebra firmware. So it's I guess that's kind of why we're not seeing more devices go off. WeatherXM, moving on. I got 90 tokens now. which is $56 in my pocket. If you look at what the price is as of right now, I am at 100% for 7 days. I'm getting 3.5 per day, including my little my little 0.3 testnet bonus or whatever it is. I'm not going to go through the whole lecture again on why I'm doing this, why I'm not doing this. You can catch that in any of my other videos. WeatherXM's another one. Last 7 days, it's kind of held to a point. It just had this little dip of this last crash, but I mean, it was at 63 cents. Last week when we did this, it was at 68 cents. Hopefully this is kind of leveled off. It's got $2 million in trading value. I'll be honest with you, I'm very surprised by that. I was not expecting that at all. But it's got 100 million token supply. Price could be a little bit better, but like I said, I'm not into WeatherXM for the token side of it. But WeatherXM is just going now. There's not really that many updates. I want to say on the 19th, they came out with this big news about groundbreaking partnership with Swissborg to deliver accurate weather data to underserved areas, and you can invest in a station for $500 or whatever, and you can read about it here. But this is where the station will be deployed at. The token will be listed on Swissborg Exchange, which again, this was on the 19th, which the 19th would have been last Wednesday, America time. But hey, at least they're still doing something. There's a X Space on June 20th. We missed that. Videos, liquidity pool on Silencio, milestone 15,000. So there's a couple updates and stuff like that. But like I said, it's on mainnet, so just chugging along at this point. All right, so then testnet section. I moved them up to number 1 just because I got that feeling, special feeling in my heart, I guess. CHIRP. If y'all haven't caught any of my shorts over the weekend, my YouTube shorts, I have my CHIRP installed, and it was hot outside. I didn't care. I think this project's going to be hot, and I didn't want to waste a day waiting on it. Right now, it is now 24 hours later, and I am still waiting on them to confirm my device. So with CHIRP, one thing that will stand out to you is, the amount of gateways that they have. Gateways are the actual miner, as we would know it, devices that are installed outside of our houses. This thing has to be installed outside of our house, has to be outside, has to be elevated. You have to send them a picture of your device and then the building or the location of where it's installed at. Hey, they're trying to stop gaming as much as possible. Who's to say that you can't move it after? I don't know. One thing I am curious is, for $800 something, I still had to pay $40 to onboard this. Now, for those who haven't seen my previous videos, I won this CHIRP device in a contest from the Tech Hustler. So Mr. Tech Hustler, y'all can find him on TikTok, y'all can find him on YouTube, and I can't thank him enough for this. He had a contest, he was giving away 3 of them, and you submitted some pictures and different things to him, and you could win a device. And I happened to win it. So without him, this would have been possible. I didn't have that kind of money to throw on this right now. Not even close. Now, I'm not saying in the future I wouldn't have bought one, but it's hard to get these. Even if you have the $800 something that you need, there's still a waiting list, a mile long. But right now there's 364 devices. This is not on mainnet yet. This is still on testnet. But it should be very, very close. I think July is when they talk about it going to mainnet. You can see, as far as North America is concerned, you can see that there are very, very few stations. I can press the right button here, that are online. Right now, they're not paying as far as proof of coverage because there's no other devices to connect to. Each device comes with some type of IoT device. Mine came with this cool little thermometer for inside your house or whatever. And this connects with IoT, or whatever frequency that it wants to use, to that device. So when I go on my Explorer, it actually shows that device connected to my miner upstairs, up on the roof. You also, though, like I said, you have to register the device to get in. You have to send 2 pictures in there and stuff like that, and then they have to manually approve it. Here we are 24 hours later exactly, and I'm still in waiting on approval. Sure, it's going to come, but it's just one thing for manual process. Again, if this helps stop all the gaming and all the BS, I am all for it. My biggest question I'm curious is, with this kind of device, you spent all this money, is there any kind of GPS in it? Because we've all said with Helium, if they would just added a GPS type of device or anything like that to it, then you could have stopped all this gaming. Yes, GPS can be spoofed. I know that, so don't nobody make any kind of comments like that. But for majority of the people, it's not going to get spoofed. You could have put there could be inside of this box, there could be a GPS receiver tracker. I don't know. But I am very intrigued. I'm going to do a bigger video on CHIRP. I know there's people that want to make the same comments that I made originally. Is how is this any different than Helium? It's way different. Helium was only 915 megahertz in the United States. This is working off 915 and 2.4. 2.4 has got a better throughput. It's going to have a way better range. And where Helium was very closed-minded and only was going to work with Helium certified or Helium type of IoT devices, CHIRP works with all of them. It doesn't have to be CHIRP certified. So that opens the door to a lot more devices that can be with CHIRP. There's a big rundown on everything, and I'm going to do another video on CHIRP. But my CHIRP is online. I am up and running. I got my wallet attached to it. It's a SUI wallet. First time I've ever messed with SUI. I had to download the Suet wallet, whatever that is. So it's all new to me. But again, I'm hyped up about it. The Soarchain. Y'all know that I am in on Soarchain. I have a device. Connectivity is a little bit of pain, but it is what it is. If anybody's interested in Soarchain, you got laid in or DIMO, you're not in DIMO at all. We'll try Soarchain out. DIMO is very profitable in the beginning. I have a code down in the description below. You can use that code. It helps me out a little bit. Get you a discount also. You can get your Soarchain device. I haven't really kept up on how the stock is lately, but I am up to 7,590 T-SOAR tokens, if you want to call them that. That's 1,200 more since I had last week, which was actually a very good week for me, because week before that I was lower than that. I'm staking all of mine on the Dash Tech Validator. Good group of guys. Small type of business. I support those type of efforts. There has not really been a lot of updates in the announcement section of Soarchain. One thing I am seeing in the Discord, though, and this is actually coming from the admins there, is that the mainnet has been pushed back some, and the airdrop has really been pushed back. I could swore, and I could be wrong, but I could have swore that mainnet was close and almost around the corner, that they were talking about it getting done Q2, Q3. And now they're talking that mainnet is not going to be until, so I can see where it says mainnet's not going to be till September. So you've pushed that back now 3 months. Yeah. People are talking about airdrops, people not happy with this. It is what it is. People asking about the airdrops, and apparently the snapshots have already been taken previously. So if you're early joiner like I am, you bought it during the test net, you should be getting some type of reward. But we never thought WeatherXM would. They kept doing the same game. hey, we never thought they'd get the mainnet, and pigs flew, you know, and it came to WeatherXM, came to mainnet. People never thought that was going to happen. So, hey, you know, Soarchain's using that same, and look, I'm not saying it's just a BS excuse. Don't take it that way, but they're using the same excuse that everybody else uses in these projects. And somebody asks them, you know, why did you delay? And they're working on a much better way of launching the network with all the partners and ongoing discussions with various platforms and blah, blah, blah. And that's the same thing a lot of these projects start saying is, hey, we don't want to rush mainnet. We want to wait till the project's ready. We're not going to rush this strictly for the token. We're going to launch when we're ready and the project's ready, the network's ready, and the partners say. That's what WeatherXM was saying too. The next thing you know, WeatherXM was asking for more money from investors. So we'll see. I'm still positive on them. It's going to take a little bit longer than we thought. So don't go order those Lambos yet. NATIX. NATIX might be next week going to number 2 because they seem to be a lot closer to a mainnet than I thought. Getting some updates just now. It looks like they're right around the corner. And I'm trying to find some kind of news or date on that. But right now I got 74,000 points. I'm up about 10,000 since last week. And, you know, at the end of the month, those points are then converted to NATIX coins. I have not touched my NATIX coins. What I'm seeing now is inside of their Discord, and I tell y'all every week, y'all have to be in these Discords to learn about this stuff. I don't have time to go through all these different projects Discord, so I try to go through them before I do this video, and I'm just learning about some of this stuff now. Is they have some type of top HODL club, and you can go on this link, and then you can see where you rank with your HODL club. So when you go and you check your user profile on your app, and on your app, you can press the little 3 lines in the corner, check your profile. Your profile's got your nicknames, you know, whatever color, whatever name, with a number sign and whatever, the 4-digit number. You can go on here and you can then search that number. And when you search that number, it'll tell you what your HODL score is. You know exactly what that is. You can see what that is. Part of the airdrop. This is something else that I found. NATIX's listings nearly upon us. KuCoin is holding a burning drop offering NATIX rewards. So for those of y'all who can use KuCoin, because we can't here in the United States, this is another option for y'all that y'all can look at and getting into with NATIX. So they got some things going on. You know, and I got to start doing some more research on NATIX because I do run NATIX nonstop in my vehicles, nonstop. So maybe I need to start catching up more on this because it says if you hold it in your HODL score, what are you doing with them? Because they're not on mainnet. Is this part of them goofy things I make fun of every week where you can use your points to buy stuff in some store, and that's what people are doing? Is they're using their coins to buy partnership stuff in store. Like, I don't know what else you could be doing with them. And now they're going to reward the people who haven't been doing it. If you sold more than 50% or got rid of 50% of your NATIX, you're not eligible for this airdrop. You know, but maybe I gotta read more about this and maybe do its own video. It seems like NATIX is doing a lot of stuff that I'm admitting that I am lost on. So I need to start doing a little more research and maybe coming out with its own video, since apparently NATIX is getting close to a mainnet. So if I can try to narrow down a date, hey, I need more ideas for videos. I'm running out of videos. That's why I've been doing a lot less. I don't want to come to y'all with some goofy videos just to make videos, to make 3 cents on the links that y'all can't click away from, the little videos and stuff. So maybe I need to check up on that. Moving on to Silencio. I don't know what to say about Silencio. I run it constantly, no matter where I go. No matter if I'm going into a building, no if I'm going to the pharmacy to pick up medicine, I run Silencio constantly. and yet I'm slipping in the rankings. I don't know if people got some kind of goofy thing on their phone to just constantly run it as soon as the 30 minutes are up and they run it again and they ain't got to touch it. That's the only thing I can think. Unless they have just a lot of venues that they're just constantly walking down the street because they don't lead a life and they are just constantly, you know, just checking in on venues and not worry about this. You know, you check in the venue, and I think it's 30 seconds, you get 20 tokens, where, you know, I got to do 15 minutes to get 20 tokens, depending on what the bonus is at the end. I can just tell you, I'm running it constantly. Last week, I was at 1490 something at one point, and I have just been steadily going the wrong direction. And again, I run it constantly. I have 7,000 tokens since last week, where the week before that, it was less than that. Hey, it is what it is. I'm not losing sleep over it. I'm just curious, how is it possible that we go up? You know, you have, trying to tell me 1,500 people are doing more. Because to me, I don't know. It is what it is. I got 94,000 Silencio tokens. Y'all know last week I kicked the AMPOW a little bit and Silencio responded. You know, I made a comment about that all he worried about is these goofy freaking contests with football chats and you know, that's the last announcement. Last announcement about this project has been June 13th, but apparently they are doing some type of rebranding, because that's what this says right here, is there's a rebranding coming. There are people in there making comments that TGE date was supposed to be Q2. It's now been pushed to Q3. Be September also, along with NATIX, on a Soarchain or whatever it was. They are supposed to be on the Peak network. I'm curious to see if this is going to stay, because every other project so far that's said they were being on Peak has moved to Solana, where they're still going to be partners and Peak's still going to help them with things, but everybody seems to going from Peak over to Solana. So I'm curious to see if that holds true. Maybe Peak's not ready yet. I'm not that familiar with them. I mean, I'm familiar with them just from reading about it, from all these different projects and stuff that pick them and how great they are. But it seems like they all, at some point, move off of Peak to something else. So I'm curious to see if Silencio is staying with Peak. Is that why that some of these are moving from Q2 to Q3 for mainnet, for TGE? You know, I don't know. But that's about all there is on Silencio. So we hit on Wingbits already. I'm not going to spend that much time on them. Y'all saw the beginning of this video. Big things happening. If you're having an issue with your device going offline on the Wingbits dashboard, even though when you go to your TAR 1090 screen, you still see airplanes, try a power reboot or just a reboot first. If it doesn't come back online, run the update again. The update is strictly just running that install script again from your dashboard. It's nothing special. People make a big deal about this stuff. You copy it from the dashboard, you run it in the command line of your device, and let it run again. That has fixed majority of these issues. It was something that got stuck in when it was trying to update or something. If you still have an issue that after you updated it, after you rebooted it, when you run that update, make sure that your SDR is plugged in. After all that, if you still see your device offline, open a ticket up on the Discord and somebody will help you with it. But I have 30 devices, about 30 devices that I'm managing between the ones I own, my friends, family, and now my host stations that I have out. I've had one have the issue where my TAR 1090 screen was working, but on the dashboard for Wingbits, it said offline. Running the update script fixed it, and I have no problems with any of them. So people in Discord are trying to make this out that this was a lot of them. You know, y'all know how it is. The squeaky wheel gets the grease or the oil or whatever you want to call it. So in the Discord, of course, you're only going to have the people who are complaining. You know, for there's a lot of stations out here. You know, I just wanted to show y'all, just take a minute to show y'all this. This is how many stations are in America right now. This is how many stations you have on the other side of the pond, as I say. You have them in New Zealand. You have them in South Africa. You got them in South America. I was helping somebody today. You'll be seeing one come online soon on Nigeria. I've been helping him out all day, getting his list together. He's already ordered it. So I'm hoping within the next week, you should start seeing his. It's a be surprising. Pie Hut, the Pie Hut store that we, send people to for their antennas, actually ships. And one of the guys I was helping was from Cyprus, and shipping was not expensive at all. A couple of dollars. I was extremely surprised at that. So now he's got one going here. Hoping to have the one in Kenya, Nairobi, online soon. But my point I'm getting at is there's a lot of stations out here. You've had a couple people on Discord complaining that their device couldn't get online. I don't think that's that bad. When you look at the amount of planes that you're covering now, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. I can remember getting involved in this project a year ago, and you saw a cluster here and a cluster somewhere over here, and that was it. Maybe a cluster around here. I know Axie was in here before I was last June. And then when I put mono online here, my first station, it kind of filled in this down here. That was it. Houston wasn't even online yet. This project has grown a lot, and I'm very proud to see what Wingbits has done so far in the community. We are in that Discord constantly helping people nonstop. Hardware channel, the general channel, the setup discussion channel. And there's a lot of people that also come in and help each other out. It's a very good Discord. I have to say, of all the projects I've ever been in, they run a very tight ship. There's no goofiness going on. Nobody's attacking nobody. And if it is, it's shut down immediately. Nobody's pushing third party anything in there. There's separate channels for that, so you don't have to worry about getting, hit with that. And they're running a good ship. I can only hope that this project is closely as successful as the Discord is, because it's going to be great things. GEODNET. It's hard to be disappointed in a project that I haven't even gotten involved in yet. And I had high. If y'all watch this channel at all, especially these Monday ones, I could not wait to get involved in GEODNET. And somebody donated GEODNET to my channel, for me, whatever you want to call it. And it was ordered. I ordered it. It's been 8 weeks now. When I ordered it, it was either 4 to 6 weeks or 6 to 8 weeks. So we're on week 8. I meant to try to contact GEODNET. It's actually HiFix is the store I ordered it from, to try to get an update today. But Mondays are horrible here at my office. But my plan originally was to take off a day of work to go install this GEODNET in Baton Rouge, because there's a super hex there. Now there's 2 stations there. I'm not doing that. The rewards have come down. At one time, they were $12 a day. Then it was $10 a day. The token has taken a hit also. So there's always, there's always that we have to worry about. I will say there's a lot of green here also, which is also a positive thing. So you got a lot of green throughout the week until this recent hit that we just took a little while ago. So it's kind of holding steady at that 17 cents mark. For the month, it has come down 21%, 20%. And, at one time it was up to 32 cents, 30 cents. Like somebody talked about with this one and with DIMO and HIVEMAPPER, all 3 of them, where's the buying pressure at? Are they buying GEODNET with the data they're selling? I asked that to Wingbits in the AMA that they had last week, and their plan is, kind of like Helium is, part of their selling of their data and the information or whatever like that is going to be buying and adding liquidity to their token. A great model. From what I read online, especially like the DIMO and the HIVEMAPPER, I see people complaining about that. Now, I ain't gonna sit there and tell you I read the tokenomics word for word to see if that person's wrong or not, but I do question with some of these prices going down, how much of that is occurring, but there's always people selling. One thing that I just talked to somebody about earlier today is the longer these projects stay in a test net, when they eventually go to a main net, people are going to want to sell those tokens. And where's that buying pressure going to come from? So that's the issue right now, I think, with GeoDNet. GeoDNet had at one time a total supply of 1 billion. Now they're down to 994 million. And you can say part of that is due to this. They've had 5.8 million GeoDNet tokens burned. So that helps also. Anytime you're taking that out of the total supply, circulating supply, that should help your value out a little bit. GeoDNet will announce new RTK customers Tuesday, June 25th. We discussed in Polygon hosted space, whatever, if y'all want to go read that. But my biggest issue right now is where's my device? That's my biggest thing right now. The closer we get to July 1st, and actually this is now having rewards in 1 week, about 1 week, July 1st. So I'm missing out on that part. There's a small part of me that I'm so disgusted with this that I really almost just want to cancel it. Give the person who donated it back their money so I don't have to worry about anything and just being done with it. Now, speaking of that, rolling the HIVEMAPPER, I'm contemplating doing the same thing. I know it's not the best attitude to have. I'm supposed to be this passive income channel and everything like that, but it's all passive income. You know, HIVEMAPPER honey, whatever was at, 5-7 cents. So you want to call it 0.057. And it's with this dip that just happened a little while ago, you're still going down. Last 7 days, you're down 17% with HIVEMAPPER honey. And, overall for the month, you're at 27%. So you went from 7.5 cents down to 5 cents. It stayed steady for a good while the month. You're getting the props when you're getting the props. Some guy who thinks he knows whatever's going to happen, whatever. So I don't know what I'm going to do with HIVEMAPPER just yet. And I'm going to tell you, reading through some of this, you got people complaining about the same thing as they're canceling their B cameras. And, the B is supposed to start making more, the B camera. So people are concerned, what about the camera I've been having? So their rewards are going to be going down. One guy said, he was getting thousands of honey. Now he can't even get enough to get an ice cream cone. But yet he's giving mapping for free. So, yeah. Again, I feel bad because, like I said, I'm trying to be this passive income channel and talk about these different projects and stuff like that. But when I think that right now with this dip in the crypto, if I had $500 back of my money that I put into this B that they can't even tell me when it's going to be shipped sometime after July, I could buy some very good crypto right now at a great discount and make my money on that. I could also finish my computer build. There's several things I could do with it. I could put it towards another chirp miner. You just watching this, and look, I know this happens with a lot of projects when tokens start going down, especially as bad as they have gone down the last couple of weeks. But there's a part of me that thinks that if I get this thing in, this B, and it doesn't make anything, I'm gonna kick myself in the rear end, because how long is it gonna take me to ROI on that? I saw somebody argue the other day with somebody else on Discord. I stayed out of it, but they're sick of hearing people worry about ROI. How stupid is that? I'm not saying I need the ROI in a week or a month, but still at some point you want to measure and stick that this is a worthwhile project. You're not giving your money to these projects. So that is something that I do have issue with, is people who want to complain. At some point, I was doing this also because this 4,000 bonus was going to be $500. And now I'm at $228 after you drive 2,000 kilometers. This is 1,200 miles. And even with that, I'm still not even halfway to ROI. They talk about the rewards that these people are talking about they're getting. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Moving on to DIMO. I've told y'all before, stay away from DIMO. That's my personal opinion right now. you're making 39 cents a day, that's the kind of money you're interested in for a project, by all means, y'all jump into it. I don't know how long it's taken also. I'm at 1,204 tokens. I have been in this project now since Christmas, which is almost 7 months now. In 7 months, I still have not ROI'd on my 3 devices. My 3 devices were $89. Because times 3 is $270 plus the shipping. It was about $280, $290. I'm at 180. Keep telling y'all, every week, you look at where I was at last week. Last week I was at 195. But because weekend before that I was at 220. So as this goes on, I am making less and less money. My DIMO that I'm holding is worth less. So DIMO's down 5% just for today. No, we had a little dip, down 9% in the last 7 days. It went from 16 cents to 15 cents. It's not really that bad. The percentage looks worse than what it is. I'll give them that. 28% in the month. For the year, that's where it looks really, really bad. Yes, it's up 10% in the year, but let's be honest. When we were all getting into this, it was 48 cents, 50 cents. You saw all these people doing these videos on it and stuff like that. This is when we all jumped in on it. 55 cents, 57 cents, and now you're at 15 cents. Does it recover? Hey, bull market, crazier things have happened. As long as you have a strong bull market. But hey, I still say the same thing I said last week, week before last. If you're really into the DIMO project and you really want to be involved and you think it's a great project, at this price, you buy the token. I mean, think about how long it's going to ROI at 39 cents a day to make you $100 to buy this device. You know, it's again, it's a good project, but we're talking about the passive income side of the projects. HIVEMAPPER Honey is a great project, very great, probably one of the best projects right now on this on this whole sheet. I say it every week. Very established project, but as far as the passive income mining side, not so much. GEODNET's getting to be that same thing. Sorry, it is what it is. But my personal opinion, and only my personal opinion, I can't recommend DIMO. But they still got people out there thinking it's the greatest thing ever. And we won't even get started with how bad the customer service is. If you go check my previous videos, I'm not gonna get all triggered on that again. Moving on to BitHarvest. BitHarvest is still rolling along also. I got it on several of my devices. Y'all want to multi-mine y'all Helium devices, especially if y'all have local, you know, they're close to you. You can try BitHarvest out. You can multi-mine Helium along with your Wingbits and a bunch of other passive income projects. Honey, and they got some other ones coming. They did an update as far as tail scale is concerned. I think it's like $35 or something like that for all their projects that they get done. And then it renews at like $17, $18, $19 for the year. It's got a cool dashboard. I like the dashboard feature on it where I can look at the different, like on Wingbits and Helium, stuff like that. Everything's right there for a simple click and you can see what's going on with that. So that's BitHarvest. One last thing I'm going to say about grass is I know I don't have grass up here anymore. I have zero faith in that project. Is they're telling everybody, looking at the Discord, y'all know I've always made fun of that Discord. That is the most toxic, crazy, foolishness Discord that there's ever been created, that I've ever been to. Is they're telling everybody to go attach Solana token. So apparently at some point they've made Solana. Biggest issue that I have, and you can find other YouTube videos that say the same thing. So this isn't just me being grumpy. There is zero tokenomics. I went in there today and I asked 3 different times because that Discord just scrolls. It just scrolls. Scrolls. Like, it doesn't stay still long enough to read anything. That's how crazy it is. I asked 3 different times about where the tokenomics at, and they are strict ignored. Nobody can answer it. You know, people talking about, you know, quit talking about other people like, you know, why you be so negative? You know, we got a wallet that we can attach now and all this stuff like that. I'm like, wallets are good, but where's the tokenomics at for that wallet? Nobody can answer that. There's just, I'm not sweating grass anymore. I'm not going to have them up here, but I'm just letting you know, because I know I did pass on grass links and did a video on them. So several of my followers are involved in grass, that if you are involved in grass, you can go add a Solana wallet. For full disclosure, I'm letting you know now, just so I can research it and find out. I did create, that's what I like about Phantom Wallet. You can create a new Solana wallet that's not attached to any other project. That's how much I don't trust this project. And that new Solana wallet, I did attach to grass. Maybe one day something shows up, who knows? But again, there's no tokenomics. You don't know any kind of what the total supply is going to be. You don't know anything about it. You don't know who the full team is. It's not doxed. You know, if you want to get involved with grass, again, I had it on several computers that are not on my main network, that I don't ever touch, I don't pay bills on, and I suggest everybody the same thing. Do not put grass on any kind of computer or any of these, like really these data sharing type programs. I don't run that on any computer that I have to run. That's kind of why I like the BitHarvest side of grass, because it's only running on that local device with BitHarvest. So you're not paying bills through your BitHarvest device. So that's one cool thing about it. If you want to get involved with grass, you can easily do it through BitHarvest with a cool dashboard and be done with it. So I'm still staking through all these. I have not really kept up with any of them. They're just rolling along, and that's all it is to it. So that wraps up this too long video as it is. I've been, like I said, extremely busy with Wingbits, setting up stations, going to different places myself, setting up stations, ordering stuff from Amazon, shipping it directly to my host, where hosts are. I have some now scattered across the United States, and I'm probably going to do a little video on that when I can get all those set up. One thing I am finding about some hosts is some hosts are eager to do host agreements, and then the stuff sits at their house for over a week, and they haven't touched it yet, and they've been home. So maybe that's one more thing. You know, I did a big, you know, a long paper kind of agreement of what they expect from me, what I expect from them, and that kind of stuff like that, just to kind of have a little, you know, legal ease if I ever need it for some reason. And one thing I don't have in there is that, you know, once the stuff is shipped to you, unless there's some kind of extraordinary circumstance, you will get this set up within X amount of days, because it's killing me wanting to know if this thing's even going to work. I set up the Wi-Fi, I set up TheGrumpyDad and everything before it shipped out. My first person in Florida plugged his into his home internet, and it immediately popped up on TheGrumpyDad. I can get into it, check out the TAR 1090 screen, adjust gain, and do everything else. My second one that went to Texas has been sitting in the box at his house for a week. My other one that's going to the northern United States, that one should arrive tomorrow, along with the stuff from Amazon. So we'll see how long it takes for me to get that one up. I got another one I'm working on right now, and I got even somebody who contacted me about something overseas, and there's a small little smidge of me that says I wouldn't mind doing that just so I can say Grumpy's International, but then I got to pay for the shipping and pay for everything else like that. And I keep telling you, if my wife knew what I had right now spent into Wingbits stuff, or the items for Wingbits, she'd hang me from one of the antennas. That's about it. So please let this freaking project work out. But other than that, it's been hot as hell down here. My trusty WeatherXM says it's 94.6 degrees. Feels like 108 with the heat index. So it is hot. It is hot with 2 mile an hour wind. So it's just like baking in the oven. But thanks everybody who's been following me. Thanks for, again, 13,000 plus subscribers. I really appreciate it. Hoping we can do some more videos. If there's certain videos y'all want to see, let me know. I'm starting to kind of run out of ideas. I don't want to make this an exclusive Wingbits, you know, channel, because a lot of my updates, a lot of stuff is on Wingbits. There's a lot of stuff going on. I really support them. But I like to be able to talk about other stuff too. I'm eventually going to do one on CHIRP. Somebody asked me for a video on lightning protection, on kind of a how-to lightning protection on their Wingbits or other kind of outdoor stuff. So that kind of goes with what I do at work. So I might do that also, but we'll see how everything goes. So See y'all in the next video. Thank y'all for watching, and see y'all next time.